The Nikon D7000 can record images with a number of different quality settings depending on your needs. Let's start by going to the Shooting menu tab and choosing Image Quality. There are 7 choices for the type of image file or files that the camera is going to record when you press the shutter button. You can record a RAW file only. You can record a JPEG file only, with your choice of 3 different quality settings. Or you can record both a RAW file and a JPEG file simultaneously every time you take a picture. So what's the difference between RAW and JPEG files? Well, RAW files provide maximum control for image editing and making corrections later with a computer. But that's also the disadvantage, because RAW files will always require extra work before they can be used. On the other hand, JPEG is the worldwide standard for digital images. JPEG files provide excellent quality, are easy to work with, and are immediately ready for viewing or printing with no further processing. If you choose JPEG, then there are 3 choices for JPEG quality: Fine, Normal, and Basic. The difference among the 3 choices is the level of compression that will be applied to the image. Fine has the least amount of compression and therefore offers the best quality. In my opinion, unless you're a photographer who has plenty of time for processing your photos and enjoys working on the computer, I recommend primarily shooting JPEG files. Or you can do what I do, and that is to record both JPEG and RAW. With any of these 3 choices, every time I take a picture, a RAW file is saved on the card in slot number 1, and a JPEG is saved on the card in slot number 2. So for right now, let's just keep things simple and choose this option: JPEG Fine only. Now the next decision is to choose an image size. Image size is measured in pixels, and the greater the number of pixels, the better the image quality will be. On the D7000, large images are 16.1 megapixels. Medium images are 9 megapixels. And small images are still an impressive 4 megapixels. The large setting is almost always going to be the best choice. After all, the camera's high resolution is one of the reasons you bought it. You can always make a large file smaller, but you can't make a small file bigger without a significant loss of quality. So at this point, we've set up the camera to record images with the JPEG Fine quality setting and the large file size. Unless you want to shoot RAW, those should really be your default settings for most situations. However, there are a few advanced controls that can be used to further fine-tune the quality and style of your images. The first menu is called Set Picture Control, and it determines how the camera processes your pictures before saving them to the memory card. There are 6 presets, plus the option to fine-tune each one of them manually. Standard is the default setting and provides balanced, middle-of-the-road results. This is the best choice for most shooting. Neutral offers minimal in-camera processing and is the best choice if you will be extensively retouching your photos later on the computer. But if that's the case, you might want to consider shooting RAW instead. Vivid provides stronger, more vibrant primary colors. Monochrome reduces the color saturation to 0, so that you can take photos in black and white. Portrait lowers contrast and softens the sharpening to smooth out skin texture and hide minor blemishes. And Landscape is designed for outdoor shooting. So which of the 6 picture control settings do I recommend? Well, that depends on you. If you're the kind of person who is going to transfer the images over to your computer and then make some image enhancements before printing, then I suggest either leaving it on standard or neutral. But if you plan on printing directly out of the camera, or if you simply don't want to be bothered with making adjustments on a computer, then go ahead and choose the setting that seems most appropriate for whatever you're shooting. Another important function that will affect the image quality is called active delighting. Active delighting attempts to preserve details in highlights and shadows, thus creating images with an improved contrast range. I usually have active delighting set for normal. Now, it's very easy to verify what the current image quality settings are just by looking at the shooting information display. And as we saw earlier, you don't even have to use the menus to make any changes. All you have to do is hold down the quality button and rotate the main command dial to change the quality. Or rotate the sub-command dial to change the size. It couldn't be easier.